Adams and his long laundry list of scandals or headlines that, were supposed to be scandals, but then Eric Adams, just rope-a-dope. And Eric Adams is a great politician. He's very friendly, comes across as friendly, warm. He's a great speaker. He's got, lots of charisma. So Eric Adams, when he was younger, he was kind of a hoodlum. When he was younger, apparently he beat up a prostitute because she didn't pay him the money that she had owed him. And then he was also running numbers when he was, a kid, running around New York City. So Eric Adams has been leading this race the entire time. You got, Andrew the Yang, like the only, person that basically everybody knows. And Eric Adams is such a tour de force that even though he's, pretty much unknown, he's kicking ass and taking names. Actually, Andrew the Yang is 4th place behind Catherine Garcia and Maya Wiley. Catherine Garcia and Eric Adams, so the two top, are Democrats just fucking conservative as fuck? Are the Democrats just Republicans in New York? Because those are the two neoliberals. Maya is the progressive, and she's coming in 3rd place. And then Andrew Yang, the 4th place. So my point with that is, if you're above Andrew the Yang, who the fuck is this Catherine Garcia? Who the fuck is this Eric Adams? Who the fuck is who the fuck is this Maya Wiley? So Eric Adams has been beating the whole field, not just Andrew the Yang, the whole time. Mr. Name Recognition, right? He's okay. So Eric Adams, what are these so-called scandals? He's had about a number of them just recently, and not even scandals. They're just headlines. There was a guy that got, one of his campaign staffers had got stabbed. He's, had to fight stop and frisk. He's been having to fight that. People think he's in favor of stop and frisk the entire time. Eric Adams had made a video where he had told the parents of New York City to search their children and how to find shit, how to find drugs and guns. Now, Eric Adams, he may live in New York City or he may live in New Jersey, probably New York City, but that's a scandal. Can one teacher teach 300 students online? That was supposed to be a big thing. Oh my God, what? Is that even possible? Can one teacher teach 300 students online? I don't know if they can make a video and get anybody to see that video at all. I don't know if they could record a lecture and get other people to listen to the lecture and have a transference of ideas. I don't know if that's a possibility. 300? You probably could do it to a fucking million, right? Yale and Harvard, they're putting lectures out on. One of his campaign staffers was stabbed. Now, this staffer had actually been previously arrested over 50 times. 50 arrests. How's that person not behind bars forever? Bunch of bullshit charges. 50 fucking times? Jesus fuck. So stop and frisk. Okay, let's take this point by point. Stop and frisk. Is there anything you want to say, Eric Adams?
That we want. Listen, people don't have to tell me about low-paid employees, man. I was a dishwasher as a child. They don't have to tell me about working your way through. I worked in the mailroom. I went to school at night, 2 classes at a time. My son was born. I went down to 1. So I know what it is to grind, and I know what folks are going through.
So he's working class, so that's Eric Adams. Okay, so stop and frisk. It wasn't just a year ago that Eric Adams made headlines by saying that he's still in favor of stop and frisk. He thinks that Bloomberg's stop and frisk, they abused it and did it too much, but he says that, frankly, it's a decent tactic. Now he's kind of evolving, so I believe that he, the candidates and the media has beat up on Eric Adams to where he's like, we will never abuse, stop and question and frisk ever again. We will never abuse it again. And he said that he testified against it, so he actually fought against stop and frisk. And so, yeah, he did say that it's a great tool, and that he did say we should have never have removed stop and frisk. And we should have used it, and used it often, or we did use it, and we used it often. It was a great tool. We should have never have removed stop and frisk. So Eric Adams was 100% about stop and frisk not a year ago. So that's why this keeps coming up. He's denounced it time and time again, but it was fucking, blatant and obvious. And are you sure? Can you just fucking lie to the public over and over again? I think he's evolved because of this reason, because he has a stop and question anti-gun thing that's going on now. So stop and frisk was Bloomberg's anti-crime unit, and the stop and frisk, he's not going to call it stop and frisk, he's going to call it stop and question, and maybe frisk and beat up and arrest. But that's copping, right? That's what cops do. But anyways, he's going to call it stop and question anti-gun patrol. This is going to be a plainclothes special teams kind of operation. So he's changing the stop and frisk anti-crime unit into the stop and question anti-gun patrol. Now, I don't like the idea of undercover plainclothes. It's just more fucking police and more, but then it could be a good tactic, you know, for just like a temporary specific thing. But whereas you got Diane Morales saying she's going to get rid of the Vice Squad and the Viper Squads and what have you got Eric the Adams and you got Andrew Yang saying they're going to, you know, have plainclothes special teams all over the fucking place. So it was actually ironic that Sean Bell's father had endorsed Eric Adams. Sean Bell's going to get gunned down by the cops. And he said it was weird because Eric Adams is a cop, but the exception was that he wasn't an undercover plainclothes cop. But Eric Adams is going to form an undercover plainclothes cop anti-gun force. So I'm not for sure. That's incredible that he was able to get Sean Bell's father to endorse him. Now, where does Eric Adams live? Bed-Stuy. He was being followed by the press, by the opposition campaigns. It's fucking trippy as shit, frankly. All these motherfucking creepy motherfuckers who are trying to take Eric Adams out. He's, you know, a strong candidate, and so we're trying to find dirt on him, and so while he's going around, you know, doing his speeches and eating his fucking hot dogs and shit or whatever, Eric Adams was being followed by the press, by opposition campaigns. And then they said, well, where is he sleeping? Where is he living? He's been coming out of this place, going to this place. What is really going on here? And then eventually de Blasio was like, he's a Brooklynite. And basically Eric Adams has been in New York City for 30 fucking years. And even if he is campaigning and getting some, you know, some ass in New Jersey, he's a fucking, you know, Brooklynite. He's the Brooklyn Borough president, right? And he's been staying at the office or some kind of fucking studio or some shelter or some shit. So there's some business. He's been sleeping at the business like he did during the pandemic, and he also, you know, actually did a video where you got to see the inside of his house. Have we seen only Paperboy's the only? Who else have we seen the inside of their houses? Frankly, can you know Catherine Garcia if you've never seen the inside of her house? Can you trust, you know, Andrew Yang if you've never seen the inside of his house? I've seen Andrew, you know, Eric Adams, the inside of his house. Very humble abode. It's, you know, on the ground floor basement, but basement says cold and, you know, mildew and dampy, and that's humble. That's, you know, it had like 3 or 4 rooms in it, but shit, seemed like a regular fucking guy. Now, Eric Adams, he had said that if the cops who mess up, then they're out of here. Well, hold on. There's the teacher. One teacher could teach 300 students. Really, one teacher could teach 1 billion students, right? Post a lecture online. Now everybody can learn from it. So now, Eric, none of these are real scandals. These are all just fucking horseshit things that kind of came up in the campaign. And even though I'm not, like, you know, laser focused on Eric Adams, I just remember kind of hearing about this shit just, you know, through the grapevine. Now, he had you know, the fucking bullshit. It's like people just want to look at some superficial bullshit. Let's just look at his fucking platform. He doesn't have a good platform. It's like Catherine Garcia. She's got a terrible platform. Have you all looked at her ideas? Are you prepared to let Catherine Garcia lead New York City, you know, straight off the fucking cliff and straight into hell? Is that what you're prepared for, New York City? So Eric Adams, he's, you know, going to be tough on crime. He's going to be tough on the cops who commit crime. If a cop commits a crime, they're fucking out of here. He's not going to wait 1, 2, 3 years. He said that there was an officer who pulled down a mask, somebody's COVID mask, and then maced dude. Eric Adams said he would, you know, fire that specific. So that's a specific thing that he would fire the cop. If you pull the mask down and mace a person, what is that shit? What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? Oh, yeah, you think you could go ahead and... You think that COVID mask going to protect you from getting maced? Yeah, kind of, sure. Nuh-uh. Now, when Eric Adams was a state senator in 2011, 10 years ago, he made a video about searching a house and the pillows and the backpacks, every nook and cranny, encouraging parents to search their children. He made this video 10 years ago. I think he's been a state senator. He's the Brooklyn Borough president. He's been doing politics for quite some time, so he knew it was out there, and he knows he's a fucking narc. He's a fucking narc through and through. When it comes to legalizing marijuana, who knows if he's going to do that? The state of New York is going to legalize marijuana. Will Eric Adams legalize marijuana? And Enter the Yang says he's going to legalize Oxycontin and Percocets and psychedelic mushrooms and Vicodin, Percocet, Oxycontin, and psychedelic mushrooms. So is Eric the Yang or Eric the Adams going to do, you know, the Enter the Yang? So what the fuck? He's a narc, so he's against the Fourth Amendment. He's against the Fourth Amendment. He's not Mr. Stop and Frisk, but he very much could turn into Stop and Frisk. He's, you know, search and seize. He's against the Fourth fucking Amendment, so he's not Stop and Frisk. He's search and seize. He's, you know, get an anti-gun force to, you know, go around doing the search and seize fucking marches and shit. So do expect fascism, more fascism, to come into New York City. Do expect more special teams in plain clothes. Do expect Viper and Vice squads. I can see the appeal for cops to want to, you know, have some plain clothes. But frankly, I want my fucking cops to be, you know, the example. You're the fucking men, right? You're the fucking men that run this fucking hellhole. So you set the example for better or worse. And if you're going to be a sneaky fuck, my God, there's already enough shitty, you know, people out here and a bunch of distrust and what have you. I want a badass motherfucking cop who's uniformed and got his patrol car and sirens and shit and drives right through the middle of fucking town like he owns the fucking place. That's what the fuck I want. And, you know, what's the problem with that? I don't understand the problem with that. Yeah, if you got like some sort of, we're, you know, going to do some sort of thing, okay, I can understand why. But, you know, basically they're talking about a full operation where they're just sort of, you can go after gangs. I feel like gang leaders, mafia, you know, that makes sense to have a plainclothes special teams to go after gang leaders and mafia. But frankly, that's, you know, to go after the guns, I guess that'll probably get some of your gang leaders and mafia figures. That's probably, for a big city, yeah, I guess that's not too bad, but I don't know. You know, when you're come from a fascist hellhole and then you go into a fascist hellhole, frankly, I feel like just be upright, be a community, you know, do community kind of policing. Just walk through the community and ask everybody how they're doing, right? Don't be a fucking arrogant fucking prick like, you know what, I just terrorize everybody around here. But actually say, you know, I'm the police officer, I'm the Andy Griffith around here. So the sheriff of Castilla, he doesn't even do that. He can't even just drive around. Like, that's too fucking hard to just drive around, you know. And when it comes to New York City, you don't have enough cops to patrol the entire city, so you have to make a presence. You have to make a presence, you know, for the entire city. That is easy to do, to make a presence, but don't even ask the Castilla County Sheriff Department to make a presence. That's too fucking hard. It's too goddamn hard just to go around saying hello, good day, and, you know, good afternoon or what have you. That's too fucking hard. Okay, if that's too fucking hard for a uniform fucking coplet, maybe if you're in plainclothes, if you're in plainclothes special teams, maybe you could actually be a fucking human. I don't know. So, yeah, the 5 mafia families, right, aren't there the 5 families in New York, the main gang leaders? So that, I feel like, there's some justification for it, but frankly, just more fascism on top of fascism. Do I believe Eric Adams is going to crack down on, you know, police brutality and police this and no, I don't think so. I think he'll, you know, crack down on crime, and then that'll be a good thing, but frankly, we don't need Giuliani, we need de Blasio. De Blasio needs to do de Blasioism a lot fucking better. Sometimes you have to ramp up the cops, motherfucker, get them everywhere. You know, Jesus Christ, you're going to have a major fucking crime like not a day or two before Election Day. How stupid is that? That's almost like handing Eric Adams the goddamn baton. Here you go, take the mayor's chair, Eric Adams. Now, it's not just Eric Adams, just to give you a quick compare and contrast with some of the other candidates. You have Catherine Garcia. Catherine Garcia, she doesn't want the CCRB, which is New York City's Police Oversight Board, to have the final say-so on disciplinary matters when it comes to the cops. So the oversight board, she doesn't want it to have teeth. She doesn't want it to have power. She also doesn't want city council to have the power to approve of the mayor's pick of the police commissioner. That's a right-wing totalitarian fascist. She believes in Nixon's 1971 war on drugs, and so does Eric Adams. So it almost seems like she's a narc, he's a narc. They're both opposed to defund the fucking police. They're both against it. They're saying, no, the cops are doing such a great fucking job, right? Let's just give them a shit ton of money and then hope that they'll actually, let's not get accountability through CCRB. Let's not get the city council. Let's not have the three branches make sure that the police branch are doing their damn jobs. Let's just let the fucking cops run roughshod on the entire goddamned world. If you give a cop an inch, they'll take it a mile. That's absolutely, the stop and frisk, yeah, it could be used as a good tactic, but they started abusing the shit out. Give a cop an inch, they'll take it a mile. So Maya Wiley's got private security. Eric Adams keeps pointing out that she's against the cops, but why does she have private security? She's not against the cops, defund the police. She's only going to take $1 billion out of $10 billion from the police budget. She's only going to take $1 billion from $10 billion out of the police budget. How is that, how's that against the fucking police? If anything, that's taken $1 billion to take care of the homelessness, so the cops don't have to worry about the crazy homeless. Do not let the cops take care of the crazy homeless. New York City, that's a bad fucking policy. That's a terrible. Now, Maya Wiley, she used to actually be part of the CCRB. So if you do want the cops to be accountable for their behavior, Maya Wiley is the one to go. She'll be, better, I think, than de Blasio. She'll fight crime. So all of them will fight crime. Jocelyn Taylor, Isaac Wright, and Diane Morales. Catherine Garcia says the CCRB doesn't have the final say, so she doesn't want the city council to approve the police commissioner that she chooses. This is just like Eric Adams. Eric Adams, he was endorsed by Sean Bell, which I'll talk about here in a second, and Abner Luma. So he's a good fucking politician. Eric Adams is, smooth talker. Smooth talking Adams. Oh, smooth talking Adams. I'm going to talk about Sean Bell coming up. He's going to be endorsed. It's ironic because the father of Sean Bell, I kind of mentioned it before, but he said that he can endorse Eric Adams, a cop, because he's not an undercover cop or undercover police officer, and that's who killed his son, was undercovers. But Eric Adams is, all about undercover, so. And Abner Luma, I don't know anything about his story whatsoever. So, yeah, there you go. Eric Adams, he's friendly, great speaker, right? Nice. Listen to him.
There's a whole lot of summonses out there for me from jumping the turnstile because I didn't have enough for a token at that time. I know the everyday struggle, and that's what people want.
I think Eric Adams just said he hops the train. Eric Adams hops the train. I just spilled my damn drink. Yeah, I gotta clean this up. So, there you go. There's the line.